Yay, and we're live. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa. This is Sailor Tortilla. We have gathered here today to talk about Silo Season 2, Episode 7. It is titled The Dive. That's what it says on the thumbnail. All right. It's called The Dive because there was a big, large dive in this of Juliet doing more shenanigans in Silo 17. So, before we get right into it, what do you rate this episode 1 out of 5 silos?
I felt very ambivalent about this one. We'll talk about it.
Mhm.
So 1 out of 5.
Whoa!
Like the content of the episode is good, but there's a lot of other things that just bother me too much to let me enjoy it. How about you, Melissa?
Man. Well, I think I'm like what Andres has been doing is like grading it on a curve. And I feel like the same way because I can't come here every week and make it a 1, 2, 1, 1. So I'll give it a 3, which I've been giving every episode a 3 except I think for the first 2. Because
3-star kind of season.
on a curve. On a silo curve.
And not on a curve? What would this be?
If I was a committed type of a person, I would have stopped watching this show. I'd be DNFing. But I mean, the thing is, I'm still curious about what the freaking answers are. Like, I'm getting tired of it. I just keep getting breadcrumbed. They're leaving me breadcrumbs, and I'm getting frustrated. I have to pick up every piece, and then it's like, oh, I found more breadcrumbs. I got to keep going. That's what it feels like watching this show. So, anybody who actually watches this video, if you are enjoying Silo, I'm deeply curious how. Please describe to me your enjoyment. I am very, very curious about it because I think this is the reason why I prefer if you're gonna do a mystery show, just give me like a limited series. I think back to the 2021 limited series Mayor of Easttown, which was on Max that starred Kate Winslet. It was a murder mystery, and it was one season. It gave me a beginning, a middle, and an end. It did not keep going on for too long with this stupid mystery. And it was a great show. Everyone in that show won an Emmy because they were amazing. And it's like I just keep thinking about like one season shows. Like that is a great example of a one season mystery show that I don't need any more seasons. It was a complete one story. And then with Silo, it's weird because I know it has books, but I don't
It's
know
just 3 though. Just 3.
just like translating well, which is wild to me because I really, really liked the first season.
Me too.
I'm just like so frustrated by the second season.
I had to call someone the other day and tell them I had to take back my recommendation for for Silo. But mostly because, like, you and I haven't seen it binged, and I keep, like,
Yeah.
caveating to people, like, who haven't seen season 1, like, season 1 is really intriguing and excellent, but we watched it binged. Season
Yes.
2 is
Binged it.
rough,
Is
but not
tough.
just because of the binge, like okay, so can I just dive into, like, what I hated about it?
Yes, please dive in.
This episode in particular,
Mhm.
I don't know what's going on with Rebecca Ferguson, but she kinda gave up on the American accent. I think she just gave up. It
Oh
was
my
really
goodness.
odd.
I
Did
don't
you pick
even
that up?
notice because anytime that we're going back to Rebecca, I just get like, I kind of feel like I just want to see you go back to your silo already. I am tired of this because they keep stretching this silo A17, 18, I can't remember, but the solo silo. I'm just like, can we get this moving?
Mhm.
I'm
That
so frustrated.
and, like, Solo is interesting. That's a character I completely understand,
Mhm.
and I'm happy for it. I'm happy to have a character that I don't relate to him, I don't
Mhm.
have his life, but he's a believable character.
Mhm.
Then we've got some other characters, but, like, this episode was so weird. Like, I think she was about to dive, she was talking about getting the cable and the power cable that was waterproof, but she would say things that were, like, just not like the accent was completely not American. It was like her accent kept coming through sentence after sentence after sentence, and I think this woman just gave up. And then I started wondering, like, was she filming Dune at the same time as Silo? I haven't looked this up.
We don't know.
But like, was she tired from like filming in the desert and then they had her just in the studio with this one other actor because she hasn't seen a single actor outside of this one guy, right?
Has not. No. Nope.
So I don't know if this is a symptom of like not having her available there and maybe her not giving a shit, but she didn't give a shit. What was the phrase? I watched it yesterday, so I can't really
Uh-huh.
remember. But the phrase was just about going down. Oh, I have to find another route to get to the cable, and I'm just like, whoa, bro, what is this? You gave up. You just gave up. And then at the
Yeah.
same time, I always complain about Common, and I don't think Common's a good actor. But
Mhm.
in this episode, Common brought his A game. He was with Tim Robbins, acting it up, acting upset. I totally believed him as the character in this episode, but only this episode.
So that means he's getting better for you, though.
I mean, maybe being around Tim Robbins makes you a better actor. I'm gonna just believe that. I
Yeah.
like to believe that.
Yeah. I have heard from actor interviews that when you're around like a veteran actor, like you're acting with veteran actors, it just makes you better. So maybe that's what's happening.
I hope so. But Rebecca just gave up. Gave up.
It's yeah, but I guess something exciting did happen though in the silo with her and Solo, because now we know they're not alone. Are you surprised by that?
Okay.
Are you not
Thank
shocked?
you for asking.
Yeah.
Because I said this in episode 1. There's got to be someone else in there, some
Ah,
sneaky dude. And you said it because they would have the camera like it was watching from somewhere else.
mhm.
In the middle of the episode, I turned to my husband and I was like, I guess there really was no other third person in this silo. I really thought there would be. And then at the end, aha!
Uh-huh. But it could be more than one person. Who the F knows?
How did they
But
get there? Where did they
that
come from? Are they
did,
from that
did
silo?
not Silo freak. Did Solo know there's other people? And that's why he was like, he's always like afraid and like he's very anxious. He's a very anxious, kind of psychotic person. I wonder if he knows there are others there. And if he did, why didn't he say anything to Juliet? We don't know. But I feel like that is probably the most interesting thing that happened so far this season.
I actually think so too. It was
Yeah.
interesting, but it was so dumb. And then we've got the other two characters from Mechanical, like, hey, why did you kiss me? Ah, no, you kissed me. And then Billings cock block them once again. This man
Yeah.
has like a radar. Oh, Mechanical's talking to Mechanical. Time for Billings to walk in.
My chemistry radar is so off. I did not
No,
clock
they
this
don't have
romantic
chemistry.
notion between the two of them, like at all.
They don't. I don't buy it. I don't buy it, not one bit. Like, I do believe that trauma bonding is a real thing that people can go through in situations like this.
Mhm.
I don't see that for them. They're like too strong-headed. These people are of strong constitution. They're leaders.
Yeah.
And I just don't get where they I mean, I also didn't think that she was straight, but like I didn't want to talk about that in the last episode because I rocked a very short haircut for a long time and I am of the proclivities that I am, but I didn't think she was straight.
I didn't think she was straight either. I gotta be honest.
It wasn't about the hair though.
It wasn't
was
about
just,
the hair. I think her hairstyle is super dope.
I thought she was like
I think
liking
it's just how
Juliet.
she carries herself. I don't know, right? Like hard to describe. It's how she carries herself, how she talks.
But I don't think I believe that she's gay. I just don't think she's into any of that.
Oh, you think she's asexual?
She might be asexual.
Well, we
Like
know she's not, I guess, but
the
I
only
guess
person that I think she would have ever liked would have been Juliet.
that's what I said. Same. Because they grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
And like
And
she really cares about her. So I thought maybe like the caring was like, oh, like she loves her, you know?
But why the flashback in the first episode
I don't know.
if it wasn't going to come back to anything?
Exactly. See, I think that's the other reason why I thought, okay, they're setting this up of those two. They're gonna like, I don't know, because that's a great point. Why even show that they're meeting them as like little girls, and then they like showed each other how to like be engineers and shit. And it's like, okay, what was the purpose?
I wonder if this is something that got cut by the studio because you know how they have Walker and her ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a story all about that and how she's her weakness. And clearly they found it in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if in an early script they were using that female couple as a foil for whatever might be going on with his childhood friend of Juliet's, whose name escapes. Shirley? Is her name Shirley?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if in like an early script they had those two relationships to show like these are people who grew apart and these are people who also grew apart but never were together. I don't know. I see something if they had just cooked it. They just needed to cook it a little more.
Yeah. No, for
More
sure.
writing.
I
Do more writing.
Yes, because I wonder at what point we're like, no, we're gonna put Shirley with Knox because they're together mostly this season. There's gonna be a kiss that happens, and they're both kind of flirting and talking about it this episode. It's like
They're acting like they're 5 years old.
yes, which I like. I love the concept because I love like cute stuff like that. If I'm shipping somebody or like if I'm shipping people, like I don't mind that. I love that stuff. But those two characters just don't make sense to me. For them,
And they also haven't gone through enough trauma. Like, this show is a dramatic show. It is a serious show. But it never really goes down the route of like, oh my God, I found Judge Meadows' body and I've run through this whole silo and now I have 5 minutes to myself and the whole silo is trying to kill me. And emotionally, where am I at? Because those characters emotionally are nowhere. They're just like, ooh, why you kiss me? Like, instead of being like, I can't believe Judge Meadows is dead. What's going on? They're just literally like having French fries in the control room or the jail, wherever they have them right now.
Yeah.
I don't buy those characters. Like, I get Solo. I don't get Knox and Shirley.
I don't either.
They're not real.
No. I'm confused by their motivations. And here's something else that I'm confused by, and maybe somebody can answer it for me. This code, so now this guy, his name's Lucas, he is now the shadow for Bernard, which Common is deeply betrayed by. I can't really blame him. Can't blame him because he was vying for that role. But now Lucas is there cracking this code. He got access to this relic library because...
The legacy.
Huh?
The legacy.
Yeah, the legacy, because Bernard wants him to crack the code. So then Lucas has cracked it kind of, sort of. He knows like, oh, okay, these are actually numbers. It's a book cipher, but yada, yada, yada. I have lost track exactly as to why it's important for us to crack this code. Like, what information is Bernard trying to crack? I'm not sure.
I believe, not firmly, I loosely believe that the code was on that hard drive that was destroyed.
Yes, I remember the hard drive.
It's on a letter or the code is 150 years old because this guy was alive back then. And remind me, he's the guy who did the first revolt?
I don't know if it's the first.
The show gives you so little. I don't really know what the guy did. I just know the guy is important.
IT, like he used to be in IT.
What is his name?
It's Quinn. Isn't it Salvador Quinn? Or like something Quinn.
I will venture into Madam Google's repertoire of answers and see if I can avoid spoilers.
We're trying to find out, I guess, what Quinn put in the hard drive then. Basically, is what.
And it was for his girlfriend? Was his girlfriend in the same silo or another silo? Was it his girlfriend?
I don't know.
Who is this guy?
He is. I keep waiting for some more flashbacks. Do you think we'll get more flashbacks so that we can get some more knowledge?
I don't know. The show is extremely inconsistent with the flashbacks. They want to show us Juliet when she was a child, but they don't want to show us Tim Meadows and Tim Robbins and Judge Meadows. Whatever they did 25 years ago. Yes. What happened? She died without revealing her secret. That I could have used a flashback of that, but it's been very inconsistent. It's very frustrating. But like also, I feel like we need to be very clear on this podcast. Like, I don't play with my phone when I'm watching Silo. And I'm missing giant pieces of information. Like, Salvador Quinn, who is this? I'm looking at a Reddit thread written yesterday.
Oh my God. Careful with the spoilers. Don't spoil.
I mean, it's okay. I read the comic. I know a few things.
Yeah.
And by the way, a third person in the silo was one of those things.
Oh, you knew that.
I knew it, but like in my head, I was like, I remember there was another guy, but it took way faster for him to show up. Oh, someone's playing music outside very loudly.
I don't hear anything. I hear
wow, nothing. It was like a really high quality speaker system. It wasn't like one of those crappy cars where the bumper goes, what in the world just happened? Sorry, it's Christmas time. For those watching this a year from now.
It is almost New Year's. It is currently December 29th. It'll be New Year's Eve and then day. Weird timing. I guess, for this show to be on while they're not taking any break. Anyway, sorry, I'm veering off.
It's okay.
We found
There's
out
no
information.
answers. There's no answers, but
It's
only
fine.
questions. The people
The
are just like,
show.
Quinn was the head of IT,
Yeah,
and
see? I
why the
remember that.
code?
I remember
People
that.
are just asking why the code. So people are with
So
us.
we're in the
They're
same
confused.
boat. Yes. So then
Yes.
they are us. And then we find out in this episode that they have been in the silo, or it was built 352 years ago. And then I remember like the other mysteries that like nobody knows who built it and nobody knows why. And isn't the reason why kind of obvious because the air is toxic?
But what made the air toxic? Was
Humans.
it
We all know the
well,
answer. Humans did it.
it could have been us. It could have been an asteroid. It could have been methane. Too many cows. I don't know. Aliens. Could have been
I feel
aliens.
like that part of the mystery might let me down if it's super predictable. Like, okay, we secretly caused the air and then we knew it was going to kill a bunch of people. So we built a bunch of silos to prepare for it.
We'll see.
Yes. And then, well, I guess also the other mysteries, like, why are so many things mysteries? Why can't people know what really happened 300 years ago? And why can't they know who built the silos? Like, why are those things mysteries?
I think the handling and the restriction of education historically, we've seen it many times, and I think we can just look back and say the people in power know that when people know things, they revolt, they escape, they feel empowered, and they have to very much like modern day the Black Plague, modern day America. Like, keep them dumb. That's not good for society, but it is what the bad people in power want. And I genuinely don't think the people who built the silo did it out of the goodness of their heart. The pact is very, like, I get it, you got to have rules. But I, like, in my heart, I just think whoever built the silo, I just don't trust them. I don't know why there's a silo, but too many rules.
There are a lot of
really
rules,
revolt, but like,
then again,
so what?
they did a thing where they could also help what was left of humanity. So that's like the positive.
But that's assuming that there's no humans anywhere else. And I know the air is poisoned, but like, they're just in Georgia. That's just Georgia. There's all these silos are just in like Atlanta.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the world?
Well, this is true. I'm curious. This kind of reminds me of The Walking Dead. Like, what does the rest of the world looks like? You know?
And I don't
like,
know.
Nobody's allowed to know. What else happened in this episode that we want to talk about? More reasons for your 1 star. I mean, your 1 silo out of 5 silos.
My 1 star is genuinely because the show is moving at a snail's pace. It has characters that feel like little cardboard cutouts. I didn't feel that. Like, Rashida Jones was in 1 episode last season.
She was.
And all I think about is that character. She was well written. I understood her. I believe that she had like a history behind her that led her to do what she did in episode 1 or episode 2. Was it episode? It was like episode 1.
I think it was 1. Yeah.
And I feel like that character was so fleshed out, and she was just there for 1 episode. Meanwhile, like, okay. Oh, also, Juliet's infection, not a problem.
Oh my God, that's right. I forgot that happened because there was no consequences. What was the point?
I don't know. They were like, now you got to go in the water with your big old open infection.
Yeah, like it was nothing. Oh my God, this freaking show.
I really like, that's bad. That's bad. That's actually bad. The show, this episode was just one thing after the other. And then there's like Solo, who you have to believe is either tactless because he doesn't interact with people, or careless, or is he helpful when he's telling her about the bends? Like, if you go underwater, your blood does this thing, so you have to come up slow. Like, he's right. That's a real thing. And part of my brain is like, don't tell her that. Just let her fix your silo and let her die.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why it's like he is kind of scary, but he does want to. He's good because he does want to help. Like, he fed her. I'm assuming he helped her when he
told her about the bend.
And there was the whole like oxygen thing. So he does want to help her, but It's so that he can help himself because his silo is going to be underwater in 10 months, probably.
Probably, however long he said it took.
Yeah.
Also, we forgot to mention someone's missing.
Someone is missing.
20 minutes into the podcast.
Oh my God, that's right. Andres is not with us, not because he died, God willing. Sorry, because I said he's not with us. I feel like it sounds like RIP, but no. He is traveling because it's the holidays. People are out there living their lives, but he will be back with us next week. And then he will also give us his Nosferatu review as well. He wanted.
Oh yeah, because we got to talk about things that aren't Silo.
Yes, we talk about things that aren't Silo. For you guys that don't know, sometimes we'll talk about other things. Okay, my dog is barking, so he'll return next week. And I did end up actually watching Anora as well because I remember I mentioned that.
Is it that good?
Before our Silo podcast. I liked the film, but I feel like people love it a lot more than I love it.
I gotta watch it now.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like I'm not sure if it was overhyped. I mean, maybe it kind of was in my opinion because some people are calling it a masterpiece, and I'm definitely not getting that from that movie. But I will say something. The movie's name is Anora, and I feel like you get to know Anora very little. And that is my biggest complaint of this film.
Sounds like Akira.
Like, I want more information about like her background and like why is she the way she is because like of certain things that she does and experiences. But I don't get those scenes, so it just feels like a very weird decision for me in my viewing experience. But I thought the performances were good. And I think that when the movie gets into the second act, I was like, oh yeah, this is the Scream 5 chick. Like a whole other side to her character kind of comes out. And then it gets like very loud and chaotic, sometimes a little bit.
Is it drama, horror?
It is a drama. It's also I would say dramedy because there's also some comedic moments. There's some funny moments in the movie because things get very kind of like chaotic and kind of outrageous. But I would namely call this a drama with some funny moments for sure.
I'll give it a shot. I recently watched half of 28 Days Later.
I've been wanting to see
I wasn't in the mood.
They're so good. Yeah.
It was very good. Like, clearly I haven't finished the movie, but like Danny Boyle really he's directing. He is making some creative choices. I see them. It is art. I appreciate it. But I just, ever since the pandemic, I really can't watch zombie movies.
You can't watch a zombie. I definitely
the suspension of disbelief isn't there anymore.
Yeah. I definitely want to watch because I've never seen them either because that new trailer for that new one came out and I am like I've never been so impressed by a trailer in a long time.
I skipped the trailer. I heard wonderful things. I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to watch these two movies and then watch.
You should watch it because it's not very spoilery. Like it's very short.
How do you know? You haven't seen the first two movies either.
I haven't seen the first two movies.
Right. So how do you know it's not spoilers?
I mean, because I didn't notice any spoilers. Do you mean spoilers from like the first? Do you mean spoilers that would spoil the
first two movies? Like, context. Both of us haven't seen them. I'm watching it for the first time.
Yes, I've never seen them. I did. I mean, I guess you're kind of right because I did see one comment about something that they show in this new one that's going to come out. But whatever.
And the other thing, before we're back to Silo, yes. I am finally finishing Ugly Betty, the American one, for the first time. Okay. I watched it live and I fell off, and now I'm like 8 episodes away from finishing.
Ugly Betty, that's with the
America Ferrera.
America Ferrera, okay.
Very good. Still very good.
I've never seen it.
It was good when it came out. Mm-hmm. It's still good. It's just like a novela. It's very frustrating when like, oh no, she doesn't like him, but he kissed her and her boyfriend saw, that kind of thing. I yell at the TV when I watch it, so I guess it's good.
I love rewatching old shows. I've been doing that too lately.
It's like 20 years old now.
It's very comforting. America Ferrera and the other traveling Pants sisters wrote that whole post defending Blake Lively and other news as well.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know they wrote a letter.
Yeah, it's like on her Instagram.
It's like Alexis Bledel?
Yes, Alexis Bledel, America Ferrera, and who's Amber Tamblyn. Yes.
I remember watching
that. We'll not dive into that here because I just wanted to mention that we're aware of pop culture.
We exist in a not a vacuum
Yes.
outside of the silo.
Yes. Although one last thing, because I'm not going to talk about the topic, but a countersuit is coming from Justin's team, and I'm just like, holy crap. What do the Texas look like for that side? Oh, geez. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll report, I guess, on
I
the
guess.
next episode of Silo when no one asked us to talk about other things.
Absolutely.
Back to Silo.
Yes.
Inside the Silo, Tim Robbins is what
What
the
is
hell?
he
Tim
doing?
Robbins did so many things. Oh, when he told Lucas, "Oh, here's the legacy and everything we know is here." Like as he was saying it, I'm like, this guy is lying, right? This is not everything we know. There's no way. There's no way. And then he hands him an iPad.
An iPad. And then we also saw the Wizard of Oz book again.
Mm-hmm.
So that he can get more insight about what is that
I
movie?
wonder what's on page 77 of The Wizard of Oz, but I don't have that edition. I have a different edition, and page 77 is probably going to be very different.
I'm betting somebody on Reddit knows that answer. What's on page 77?
I don't even know if that edition of The Wizard of Oz is a real one or like just created for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like Wizard of Oz hardcover.
It's like a green hardcover. Yeah.
It's very small. It must have very small print and no pictures. And part of the fun of The Wizard of Oz is those beautiful 100-year-old illustrations, I will say. I can't see like a cover that looks like the one in the... I don't.
Maybe it was created for the show.
Yeah, I think so. But also, you know, it could be a real one, and Google is just not showing it to me.
If the people are writing in the chat, because Restream doesn't always let me know, and I hate that.
If you're there, thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you for coming. Okay, I see there's 4 people watching, but no comments yet. Don't be afraid to chat with us. Okay, let me know what you rate the episode. 1 out of 5 silos. But
and where are you at? Are you in America or somewhere else? Is it a good time for us to be doing this podcast? I don't know. I have a question. You know, help us help you. If you want to watch us at another time, another day.
If people are like in different countries and stuff, that's so cool. And different time zones.
Can you plug your other like things that you're reviewing and stuff? I feel like you've never like plugged like what else do you do outside of Silo during these videos?
I do movie reviews. My last one that I did, my official last one that I did was for Wicked actually. But I am actually hoping to ramp up the amount of reviews that I do next year because I gotta get to 25. Oh God. I have to get in the mindset of doing that because I'm trying to tackle that project on, which I feel like once I get into the flow of things, it won't feel that daunting, but I'm not somebody that reviews every single new release. That is a lot. I know other YouTubers who do it. They are very talented humans, but I want to be able to ramp up that more next year. But for now, you could check my movie reviews on my movie reviews playlist. The ones that I have done for 2024 are as follows. I have done Wicked, Speak No Evil, the American version, Beetlejuice, Blink Twice, It Ends With Us, speaking of that controversy, Maxine, I Saw the TV Glow, The Idea of You, Abigail, Civil War, The First Omen, Challengers, Argyle, Mean Girls, and Night Swim. All 2024 films that I've reviewed on my channel.
It's fascinating to me how I have seen very few of that list.
Yes. Okay.
You and I have very different tastes. How did that happen? Well, how are we friends?
Admittedly, a lot of those were for films that I got invited out to a screening for.
Oh.
So when I say yes, I'm saying yes, but if I say yes, I have to review your film. So that's how that happens. Yes.
Behind the scenes. No one's paying us to do Silo. We are doing this out of the kindness of our hearts.
I'm not being paid to review films either.
Oh, okay. Well, we're broke. Pay us. Give us money.
Yes. No. If I get an invite to a screening, like no one's paying me, I don't have to say yes. I say yes. Usually, if I don't mind watching the film, I'm like, all right, bet I'll go. And then I do the review because I want to show that I'm reliable to, the folks who do the screening stuff. I want to show that I'm reliable and that when I say yes, I'm going to, do the work, not the work because I'm not being paid, but like I'm going to, do the video to review the film, whether that's positive or negative. But there's no paying. There's no being paid.
Well, hopefully that'll change. Also, we didn't mention the exploding paper bomb.
Oh yeah, the exploding paper bomb. Back to Silo. That was done by Mechanical down deep, right?
It was mechanical.
Okay. And what did it say? Juliet lives?
No, it was like a whole IT is lying to you, and
Right.
look at IT or look at their office and how it has power when we turn off the power. It was a really long letter, and like here's the thing: clearly they had a lot of people
Yeah.
like volunteering to write it down. You saw that stack of papers.
Mhm.
And all I kept thinking, like, this episode was infuriating to me. I did not enjoy it. I was just actively upset because I went, look at all the words. There's so many words on this paper.
Yeah.
Everyone had to write these like whole 2 big sentences. No. Like, simplify. I don't remember what it said, but it could have just been so much
It was
simpler.
like revealing the truth. Like they're lying to you, which okay, that's good.
And
message to
then
send out.
they cut the power, and I was like, hey, why does IT still have the light on? And then meanwhile, I'm here going, doesn't that happen every time the power has ever gone out in this show? Did they not notice for 300 years?
Oh, brother, this show is.
I didn't like this episode. I genuinely am giving it a real 1 out of 5. It was kind of infuriating. I feel insulted.
Kind of amazing. That's kind of cuckoo because I was like, at least now we have confirmation that somebody's in the silo with Solo and Juliet. I was like, all right.
Am I helping drag your review down?
What?
Am I helping drag your review down? Like, bring your score down.
Bring it down. No, I mean, I'll stick with my 3, but again, I'm stressing that it's on a curve. It's on a curve because, like, it's just not a great second season. And I can't just come here giving this like a 2 and a 1 every episode. But if
good.
my stipulations is if there's at least one interesting thing that happened, I'll stick to my 3. If it was giving nothing, I could go lower. It could happen.
Turning on that pump in the floor 8 stories down was pretty easy, all things considered. She just had to get there. I also wondered if she's going to have problems from surfacing that quick because I was thinking, like, how many stories? They said it was 8 stories, and I'm thinking, like, one story must be, like, let's say 9 meters.
Mhm.
So that's 9 times 8, which is 72. She's 72 feet underground. Like, if you go to the deep end of the pool, like 6 feet down, like, you feel your ears pop. I can't imagine what it's like at 8 feet down. I'm not a scuba diver.
Yeah, but being that we didn't really see the consequences of her infection on her arm, they're probably not even gonna like go over the whole like you might have bubbles in your brain or whatever the fuck.
The fact that Solo even brought it up, though, it's like, are you bringing it up so that we go, it is a real scientific show, or is he bringing it up because it's going to come up later?
That's a great.
Because she just had to swim. Also, I can't with this show. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little story about me. Okay,
Yes.
I learned to swim when I was 7.
Okay.
And when you're 7, you are really thinking about every physical stupid move you have to make when you're swimming. It's not like when you're a kid and you're just like survival instinct. No. Like, you are a desert creature who lives on the earth that is dry, and you are trying to. Anyway, the hardest part about learning to swim was to tread water. And I'm watching stupid Rebecca Ferguson swim for the first time in her life and then be treading water. And it was so infuriating.
Well, that's the other thing that I've been calling out. Like, she didn't know how to swim at all, but now she knows how to swim.
And tread water so she could keep her head and breathe.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I'm just trying to let it go because things just don't make sense.
It's so stupid.
It don't make sense.
Like
I have to let certain things go. I've realized that. But it's just like, why are you going to make whatever. I don't want to get into it.
That really actually really pissed me off because I'm like, me at 7, I was like, I have to consciously focus on learning all these things. She's what, 37? I don't know how old she is in the show.
Yeah.
Or in real life, actually. Rebecca Ferguson, to the Google. Are we going to find she's like some crazy young age and
I bet she's
no
in
woman
her
over 40
40
can do anything? What?
Are you Googling it? She's in her
I'm
late
Googling
30s
it.
or early 40s.
You want to take an actual guess?
Okay, let me guess. She is 38.
41.
Oh, okay.
And I was just saying, like, am I gonna learn that women over 40 can't be in movies anymore? Because that's usually what it is. Um, they're usually like, "We don't want you. You're
Oh my
ancient."
God. We were close though. We were
Let me
close.
tell you something, 40s are so young, but also we're in our 30s saying this, but
Yeah,
40s are nothing.
I was gonna
40s
say,
are nothing.
as I get older, I'm like, 40's young.
Yeah.
40's young.
Yeah.
The older I
For
get,
real.
40's super young. What do you mean?
Mhm.
And I always
Mhm.
like yell after my little cousins who were like saying things about people in their like late 30s, 40s. I'm like, that's a young age. Okay.
They'll learn. They'll learn.
Yes.
Um,
But anywho, any last minute thoughts, words before we bid them adieu?
wait a minute. We haven't talked about Walker or her girlfriend.
Walker. Okay,
Hey,
we find out that his name is Bernard. Bernard finds out that they still have feelings for each other. So then clearly he's going to use one of them as like a weapon towards the other person.
what was weird was when he went to go interrogate the what's her name? Laura? Lauren? Laura? She's from the Lord of the Rings show that's not very good. She plays a dwarf. He goes to talk to her
Mhm.
and he says, like, will you what did he want? I don't I watched this yesterday. How did I forget this?
I always watch it on Sundays and I miss parts because my brain checks out half the time.
It just doesn't like there's certain characters that come on screen and I'm like, oh, I don't
Zone out.
care.
Zone out. Yeah.
I don't
I don't
care.
recall.
But I remember it was weird. He went to the interrogation room and he was like, tell us what you know, and walks away. I don't actually know what happened. I just remember I had a feeling like, oh,
He
so
was
that's it?
asking
He's just gonna walk away?
Walker or Walker's ex-wife.
Walker's ex.
Oh. Oh, that's right. They had a meeting. At first I didn't know. Oh my God. At first I was like, is that Judge Meadows who's actually alive? Because I couldn't really see because the show is really darkly lit sometimes. But then I really was like looking at it and I was like, oh no, that's the ex. I was like, all right.
In
I
my
don't
head, I keep calling her the dwarf queen.
because she's on the
But
ring with
that's
power.
not this show.
I don't remember what they spoke about. We were great hosts of this awful show. It's great.
It's not worth remembering. Like, I watched one episode of Silo yesterday and like 10 episodes of Ugly Betty. And Ugly Betty is so much more memorable
It's
and
better,
more
yeah.
things happen. I can't compare the two, but like really, the character writing in Silo is frustrating if you've seen other things like Game of Thrones. It's even more frustrating if you're literally watching what was it, ABC? Like an
Uh-huh.
ABC sitcom style show, and the characters are like so like when you think okay, I know you haven't watched it, but
Mhm.
there's many characters and you totally know what they would say or react to something because the writing is there. The characters have been built up.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Silo, it's like, oh my god, the secret of the legacy and blah and I don't care. And then like Sims had to tell Bernard, I'm not gonna sign your papers, and then
Mhm.
sign it. I don't remember.
I don't
No
remember,
way.
and I just watched it.
He threw it in the trash. He was
Oh,
supposed to sign
did
something
he?
and he threw it in the trash and told Bernard no. But I don't remember how their conversation ended. Oh, it ended with Bernard telling him that his wife helped the people.
Yes, I remember that, and then that led to a scene of husband and wife kind of talking about like, why are you doing things without me? All right.
And then that didn't lead to anything either. She was like, I'm making you look good. Next scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think like she might be like a valuable player, or she kind of is because she's being smart. She's like, we have to like play both sides so that we can go on whichever side who's gonna win, which is a smart game to play. So I do like that choice for that character. But other than that, it's giving very little returns for me this season too. So
Yeah, I'm not invested in anybody. I love watching Tim Robbins do anything. I just don't remember what he did. And then we had like 2 new featured extras. Did you see those women? The ones with the papers. They were like, "What does this paper mean?" And they were like looking at each other like, "I don't know about this, guys."
But okay. Is there any other scenes you wanted to cover before we bid them adieu?
Can I remember any other scenes?
I don't
That's
remember
the
anything else.
problem.
I just
There's got to be
remember
more. What about Sheriff Billings and Porn Stash from Orange is the New Black? What did they do?
went down to a crowd that was almost trying to kill this lady because they thought that she was poisoning the
The
food.
food was poisoned. And yes, and
Um,
she did it.
but
But
then
her
she
family's
didn't.
in medical.
They have her mom, I think, not hostage, but like I think she's in the hospital or something. They threatened somebody
She's
that
kinda
she loves.
hostage. They definitely
Yeah,
used that as leverage and said they weren't
yeah,
gonna give her the drugs or something. But, like, that's frustrating too, and that's really crappy writing too, because at the end, she's like, "I'm like one of you, just like one of you," and they're like, "We forgive you." But I'm thinking, "Oh, great, so now they have no leverage against her, right?" Well, the leverage is gone. Everything's fine. Her mom's not still in medical, not still
what's
totally
gonna
there
happen
to.
with the mom now, though, right?
Well, I don't even know if anything's gonna happen. I just think that the problem's not gone. The woman's not gonna be trustworthy because they can still use the mom to
Oh
make her
yeah,
do bad things. I don't think she's a bad person. I think she meant it when she said, "I'm one of you." I
mhm.
just think that this show is bad. I'm convinced. Like, I what
We don't disagree.
did
I'm
we come
very.
in with open minds?
We did. We were
I think we did.
excited. We were excited for the second season.
Man,
It's
there's
fine.
somebody
We
watching this and they're like, "These women hate Silo. Every week I
are a
come
broken
to hear
record.
about my favorite show, and these women
I
hate
know.
it."
I mean, look, we have stuck through it. We're reliable. We're gonna stick through the end because we committed to, and it's fine. It's fine because we get to
Does
come
this make the
together.
Dragon show look better?
The Dragon Show was definitely better.
It was.
It was better than this.
Oh no, and we crapped all over it.
That didn't feel like torturous to do every Sunday.
And we had so much more to say.
We did.
Like,
Oh,
Melissa, we are very opinionated people.
yes.
And
Yeah.
yet somehow this is like
It's just like this is something I should have waited for all the episodes to come out, and then maybe I could have binged if I didn't give up on it because I will DNF a show or a book with the quickness. Okay.
I'm gonna feel positive about it though. I think binging the show is gonna be better. I'm waiting for someone I know to binge it now because they just binged Dune Prophecy ended. Someone I know just binged it and they loved it. So I think the episode by episode thing is just making us think too much. It's
Yeah.
taking away the enjoyment. But also, I still think the writing's bad. Binging this is not gonna make me go like, haha, that lady's definitely not a problem anymore. Like that's not gonna change that.
No, yeah, it definitely has its plot holes and writing issues and sometimes acting issues. But anyway, we're gonna GTFO and we're gonna catch you guys next Sunday. We promise we like Silo on some level because we're here every single Sunday talking about it with you guys. Let me know what you rate the episode 1 to 5 silos, and we'll catch you guys next Sunday and have a happy and safe new year.